Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel, Backpacking with Banger. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys the most important 5 tips on traveling the Philippines. Somebody who's traveled, backpacked, and motorbiked around the Philippines for over 7 months. I will present to you guys what I have gathered and give you guys all of my 5 favorite tips. If you perform these tips that I'm going to show you guys and tell you about while you're in the Philippines, I guarantee you that you will never want to leave such an amazing country. So hopefully this will help you guys out. And if you guys stick around for all 5 tips, I'll even give you a little bonus tip at the very end. Tip number 1 would be learning some of the basics of the language. I think it's one of the most underrated tips that any traveler has ever given anybody. It's just a whole different experience if you learn some of the language, even if it's 5 or 10 words. It doesn't have to be full conversations. Basically, greetings, maybe some numbers, how to say yes and no. It's something that I've learned traveling around the Philippines. They respect you so much more, and it gets them very excited that you're there in their country, learning some of the language. It goes just so much further, learning just basics. A lot of times I'd watch other foreigners interact with the locals, and they'd walk up and they'd say, "Hey, how you doing? Do you have some chicken and rice or something?" And then the Filipino will get on, "Okay, yeah, we'll get you some chicken and rice," and then I'll walk up and I'll be like, magandang hapon, kumusta ka? How are you? Good afternoon. And it just their whole reaction just changes immediately. It's just like they appreciate it so much more. They're like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Ako si Scott." And they're like, everyone's all happy that I've answered in their language. Or, "How old are you?" "33." "Oh, he said 33 in our language." I can't stress enough on how enjoyable the situations can be just by learning some of the basic language in the Philippines. It makes for just such a more magical experience. And sometimes if I travel with another Westerner, and let's say they don't really know the greetings or how to speak as much of the language that I do, I'll try to greet whoever we're talking to first, to try to set the stage, because it's just the reaction is it's priceless. They appreciate it so much. So I'll walk up first and I'll greet them in their language, and get them all excited, instead of approaching locals and just saying, "Hey, how's it going?" It's just a whole different experience. I can't stress enough just learning basic words. Tip number 2, if you're going to be traveling in the Philippines, motorbike. I can't recommend it enough. Just the convenience of having your own wheels in the Philippines. You can go and explore all these beautiful places whenever you want. You don't have to be looking for local transportation. The first time I was in the Philippines, I was taking ferries to different islands. I was going to kind of island hopping different places and in towns on the islands, and I'd arrive to an island, and there's generally areas where you can rent motorbikes. So I'd stay on an island for a week or so and rent a motorbike for a week. Usually, I don't know, $7 a day roughly, and then I'd return it, get on the ferry, and continue on to the next spot, rent motorbike. But it's just you'd save money if you're gonna be taking a taxi or a sidecar or other public transportation in the Philippines. It's definitely possible, but it's definitely not nearly as convenient. And if you're in the Philippines, it's one of the most free feelings in the world. Just being able to hop on a motorbike and go and checking out a waterfall or cave or go to a white sand beach, and that way you don't get dropped off somewhere and then have to look for another ride back. It's a no-brainer having a motorbike. Last winter I motorbiked 5 months, so I ended up purchasing a motorbike, and it was just the most all-time fun. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Tip number 3 would be medical care. In the Philippines, you'll save thousands of dollars on medical care. It's a fraction of the price in the Philippines. I when I took my Filipina girlfriend to the dentist, we walk right in, no appointment needed. Get you in, get you out. $20 is actually like $28, but the dentist was so cool. I even got to go inside the dentist office while he was performing the work on Maurice, and we were joking around the whole time, hanging out. And he's like, yeah, it's $28, but nah, $20 is fine. So I still gave him $28, but for a cleaning like that, you just walk in, walk out, no insurance needed, and just everything over there, medical wise, it's a fraction of the price. You're going to be saving thousands of dollars. I get all of my dental work done over there, if I need blood work done. I've had ultrasounds done there. I've got medications there. It's just completely different than Western countries. Here in America, I get so overwhelmed just the thought of making a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment. Sometimes when I call, it's, oh, we can't get you in for another month or so, and we gotta check your insurance, and it's just a whole different world in the Philippines over there. You just walk in, get your work done. It's a fraction of the price. It's all done. Their equipment there is state of the art. If you're traveling through the Philippines, I'm sure you're going to be going through a bigger city like Cebu, Manila, Davao, and they've all got great equipment. Their personnel and their staff are amazing. Here in America, we get a lot of our healthcare workers come from the Philippines, so what better place in the world to get work done than in the Philippines? I've heard countless stories. I know of countless people who, let's say they have a motorbike accident and they go to the hospital, and it costs them for x-rays. Maybe they've broken something or all banged up, and they go to the hospital and they get everything done with the treatment, the cuts, the bruises, the CAT scans, the x-rays, and they'll walk out for $600. And I compare that to something, if that were to happen in America, that would maybe cost, I don't know, $10,000. It's a no-brainer. The healthcare over there in the Philippines it's in my experience, it's always been top notch and a fraction of the price. From all the money that I save going to the doctors and dentists here in America, I use that money to be able to travel with in the Philippines. So if I can save $1,000 here in America, I can spend a month sitting on a white sand beach in the Philippines with palm trees and sipping on a pina colada or something. So medical, get your work done over there. It'll save you tons of money. Tip number 3 might be one of the more boring tips, but one of the most important as well, would be to pack light. For my travels, I bring one pair of footwear. These are the best footwear in the entire world. That's all you need. They work great for walking around the water, the rivers, waterfalls, beaches, motorbiking. In some places in the cities like Cebu and Manila, you're not allowed to have open toe sandals. It has to be enclosed like shoe. Otherwise, you might get a ticket. But yeah, pack light. I bring one shirt, one of these shirts, collared shirt, maybe 3 tank tops, 3 shorts, phone charger, my phone, little bathroom bag. I bring like 1 pair of socks, 1 pair of boxers, and you don't want a huge bag. You're in tropical paradise. You don't need next to nothing. Basically, what I'm wearing, I could go over to the Philippines with my passport, and that's all you basically need. You don't really need a overpack for the Philippines. You can find, if you need shampoo, you can pick it up for 20 cents for a little package, or whatever you need is over there, and it's a lot cheaper than buying it in America and bringing it over there anyways. Tip number 5, make sure if you go to the Philippines to truly understand the culture and what the Philippines truly offers. You got to go off the beaten path. A lot of tourists, they'll be going to Palawan. They'll be going to Siargao, Boracay. They'll be going to these touristy areas, and you get there and you don't really see the culture of the Philippines. When you're in these smaller little towns or barangays, you're surrounding yourself, one, with a bunch of other tourists. Secondly, you're in places where the cost is going to be much more expensive than the majority of the Philippines. And number 3 is just the experience. I mean, sometimes people like their $80 hotel rooms on the beach in the Philippines, $100. And that's all great. I love my little $12 to $20 little shack on a white sand beach with nobody around, hanging out with the locals. So it's you'll get a completely different experience if you go off the main tourist track in the Philippines, and that's when you really get to know the locals on a whole different level. One quick story: what I did last winter, I heard so much good things about Siargao Island. It seemed to be every foreigner's favorite island, and so I was really looking forward to getting up there. And I get there, and it was a different experience from where I just came from. I was coming from areas where I was the only foreigner around. Everybody was, waving, "Hey, how you doing? Magandang hapon." And then I get over to Siargao, and the locals, because they've dealt with foreigners, they see foreigners, on a daily basis, hundreds of foreigners every day. The interaction between myself and the locals was different. So I think one of the most special things about the Philippines is the people. And when I'm not in the touristy areas, I can really enjoy the happiness of the people. They're excited to see me. You can call me an attention whore if you want, but who doesn't like walking down the street and have everybody looking at you and smiling and waving, and greeting you. You get a lot of attention in the Philippines being a foreigner, and to be honest, that's part of the reason why I love the Philippines. Where in the world can you go and travel to, and you walk down the street and people are excited to see you, and they greet you, and they're happy that you're in their town, and oh, what are you doing here, and they want to get to know you and hang out with you and go do karaoke with you. That's the Philippines to me. So when I went over to Siargao's, man, it's awesome place for some people. If you want more of your amenities, your little fancy coffee shop or your smoothie on the beach and your nice hotel with your swimming pool and everything's all nice and prices are more expensive. That's all cool too. But for my style of traveling the world, I love doing the local thing and the local way. That's one of the biggest reasons why I do travel. It's what changed my life, and I wish more people they would get off the beaten path to see that side of the Philippines, because that's truly what changed my life on wanting to spend the rest of my life in the Philippines. So get off the beaten path. If you got any little bit of adventure in your heart, it only takes a little bit. Go for it, and you'll thank me later on that. Alright, we made it through all 5 tips. I'll give you guys tip number 6, and that is a lot of things are less regulated in the Philippines. So what that means is be sure to take care of yourself. Okay? This is another huge reason why I love the Philippines, is because things are less regulated, less stress. Basically, take care of yourself in the Philippines. There aren't going to be a bunch of rules and regulations. Sometimes there's not going to be signs and this and that. You just have to be accountable for yourself, be accountable for your own actions. And this is why I love the Philippines so much. I don't have all these regulations and red tape and everything, all this pressure here in America. You go to the Philippines, it's like freedom over there. You take care of yourself. Everybody's respectful to one another. The consideration for one another in the Philippines. Everyone treats each other like family. They're such nice people. They treat me like one of their own there in the Philippines. They treat me like family. And going back to learn the language in the Philippines, what better way to respect the culture than to make your first impression, speaking or greeting them in their language. It just shows so much respect, and in the Philippines, for them to show me so much respect in the Philippines. I don't see that in America. It's like everybody's lost all consideration for one another, respect for one another. Anyways, tip number 6. Less regulated. So take care of yourself. All right. It's one of the most free feelings in the world. I love the adventure. I love things that are less regulated. Let's say my hotel room, maybe there's no lock on it, on the knobs, so maybe I gotta use maybe the hotel's got a little lock or something and a key. It's not up to code as it would be in America. So just watch where you're walking. Maybe there's some potholes on the road, or maybe there's a little wire or something. I don't know. Just enjoy it all. It's quite the adventure in the Philippines, and I love every single breath I take in the Philippines, and I can't wait to go back. So hopefully, if you guys all go there, you'll implement these not 5 but 6 tips that I gave you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next Backpacking with Banger episode.